Okay. There's always a small little delay, but we are going live today. It's Friday, the 22nd of January, 5 p.m. here in Lisbon. And I'm going to bring in somebody really special today, Dan Keller, in just one moment. And this was a little bit short notice, actually, because Dan had a question. He asked me if I could ask that on today's live. And then we just mentioned basically, or I asked him, could we just do a live together? So there you go. It was really more or less impromptu, and we are doing it today. And Dan is already waiting to join us. And so let's get started. I'm going to see that I have everything set up, and I'm going to bring Dan in a moment, and then you will get to know Dan Keller. Okay, just 1 second. Dan, can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Oh, it works. So great. Oh, okay. So we haven't tested it before. We haven't done anything really in preparation. It's very, very much like on a whim, isn't it?
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
I love technology when it works.
Exactly. And it's always magic. And when was it? Just a few days ago, I just said, well, Dan, it was on Tuesday, I believe. I said, well, why don't you get online tomorrow with me? And you're like, sure, I'm going to do it. But then we had the inauguration and we said, well, let's move everything to Friday so everybody can watch what's going on. So thank you so much for jumping on here.
I appreciate the opportunity.
So Dan, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you're an aromatherapist. I know you have a humongous group going. You have lots of networking you do every day, but tell a little bit more. What is your specialty and why did you start with aromatherapy?
Well, I retired and I needed some extra income. You know, you have to have money even though you retire. Retirement is not what they make it up to be, by the way. But I decided that I loved the medical field. And at one time, I worked in hospitals and in the emergency room. And since I knew that nature had so much to offer, I decided to follow my love into the aromatherapy. And from there on, after studying and got about 500 hours at least underneath my belt now, I have a Bachelor of Science degree in agriculture, so I know all about the plants. Have the Master's in Education. I have a doctorate in Theology and 3 or 4 or 5 certificates in aromatherapy. So it's just, and my specialty is pain relief, actually. Yeah, I deal with dear old Mr. Arthur. You know him, Arthur, his last name's Itis. So we just don't mention the names because somebody might be listening. But Mr. Arthur Itis and his Mr. G, who is affects the toes. Mr. G has to get out, so you can figure that one out too. So we have to be
following the rules, basically, of not mentioning anything, right? I've seen, if you haven't seen the website yet, I'm having it in the footer running across myfathersnaturalremedies.com. Yes. And you just got this website up a few weeks ago as well, right?
Yeah, I've been working on it now for about 4 or 5 months, but finally got it ready to go live. And so I had to go in there and make sure the names were, you know, Mr. FDA didn't get too nervous about it. So it's like the problem with your cheeks. I say, Rose, see ya. So
right. Yeah. So I mean, well, when did we get to know each other? I think just like 3-4 months ago. Yes. When we started using Blend Precisely, actually, and we were chatting back and forth quite a bit. And then I just saw you going off in these directions of just exploding your involvement into business. And then there was a new website, and then there were suddenly, you know, these lives, and then you did this and this and this. You were just really a go-getter. I just always called you rocket ship to Seth. He's like going like a rocket because you just really went for it during these really difficult times as well, when business was not easy at all last year. It still remains to be difficult, right?
Yes, it's very, I mean, it's, I don't even allow clients actually into my home. I have a contactless pickup system. When
Yeah.
they order, either I ship it or they come by and pick it up prepaid. So it's hard. It's really
It's
hard.
hard.
I miss the personal contact.
Yeah, and I have the same thing. Let's just see quickly. Jackie says hi. Natalie says hello from California.
Hey,
Jackie
Natalie.
laughing out loud. That's great. It's net, right? .net. No, I think is it .net? Is it right? My
Yes,
father
.net. Uh-huh.
.net. Sorry. Yes, Natalie, you're right. It is. I had a quick look just before joining this talk. Well, that's what Nefra says. See, there you go. So welcome everyone. Really nice to have you here online with us as well. Yeah. So I mean, I still have the same problems with shipping as well. I have received many shipments back. Many things didn't go out. Shipments were delayed from Portugal to the United States. It's been just really a true nightmare.
Yes.
It's just so sad. So what we are trying to do here, and Dan is super involved in many groups as well, is really to cheer each other on and see if there are different solutions, if we can think of anything else we can do. And I think right now, and I don't know if you agree, Dan, it's really valuable to be in different communities and check out what people are thinking, asking questions. What else would you suggest right now? What do you do?
You just got to find those little group pages that are local on the social media, find out what they're talking about. I just go in there and somebody says, "Oh, I've got a lot of knee pain." Yeah, you just I got you. So
Yeah.
you kind of do like you do. I live up near a huge, I think it's about a 3,000-acre lake, and they do trolling. So that's exactly what I do across these web pages. I just troll and see if somebody says I need something. Yep. Then I jump in on it.
Right. It is. It might be time consuming, but really, I think the juice and the business often lies in the comments and in if you go on blog posts, you will see comments in those blog posts, and they will talk about the pain they have, really. And I think that is the way to go. You have to be active right now in the groups and see where you can maybe help out. And obviously, if it is a group where you cannot just take over, but at least you might as well go to the moderator and say, hey, can I suggest that? Or I've got this one, or I have a solution for this. May I please comment and post anything about my business? So I think networking is a huge part right now. Yeah. So we have another hi from Canada today. That's really beautiful. Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
So
I got that cold. That must have been the Canada that came in there.
I would think so. Well, how cold is it? Well, how cold? Where are you right now? How cold is this where you are?
Oh, where I'm at, it's in the upper 30s right now. I'm in the mountains of East Tennessee.
See, that's cold. Here it's not that cold.
Yeah, 35, 36 Fahrenheit. So I don't know what that is, Celsius.
Yeah, that is it's around 0 Celsius. I think it is definitely freezing point. Yeah. But we got you online mainly because we wanted to talk a little bit about MLM and what people think when aromatherapists use MLM companies. And for the ones, I saw a few comments actually, and please chime in. I can see your comments right now as well. So that's why I can say hi to Canada and hi to England and hi to Jackie and so on. So using MLM companies, the multi-level marketing companies, we know doTERRA and we know Young Living very well. And it's been always, in every group I've ever been, a really hot topic and discussion point. And you said, can we ask that question? Why don't you ask that question right now, Dan?
Okay. Now, I've been doing this aromatherapy business for about 5 years now. And for a long time, I would just, my hair would stand on end. And that's the reason there's not much of it anymore. But I did not go along with the MLM, doTERRA, Young Living. And the main reason is because of their training. They do not really push safety. And I am a number one safe advocate. Matter of fact, somewhere there's a certificate for safety advocacy. And so I decided, well, why why are we cutting ourselves off from using MLM products? I mean, we want to make money. I'm not sitting here just doing this because I haven't got anything else to do. Well, really, I don't. But when you're retired, but I'm out for making money, and you can't make money selling. And you know it is when you buy directly or you buy from another dealer. You don't make that much money. It's not that much that markup. So
Yeah.
with the MLM, there is a good way of making some money, but it's up to you to be trained. It's up to you to find someone, not with that company necessarily, that will teach you to say when to say it, how to say it, what to use, what not to use. I'm still not one that uses internal. I've seen so much happen when people use internal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all these MLM companies, say, oh, use, this or that and use it internally and all that. I don't, although I am certified as a French aromatherapist and I'm trained to use internal. But here in the United States, I will be put under the jail for selling internal products. So, but my thing here is I want the people out there to say, hey, I can't do this, but I can do it professionally. It's like, I don't know if they have them there in Portugal, but we call them a shade tree mechanic. They just open up a mechanic thing in their garage. And that's because they read a few books.
Yeah.
And so if there's a difference, you can open up a garage, but you be certified, you be trained. And that is my thing. You can be multi-level marketing with doTERRA or Young Living. I'm also with Lemongrass Spa now, which is a cosmetics. So you have to be trained, and that's what I'm all about. I'm wanting any doTERRA Young Living person that is interested in training safely, what to say, how to use it. I want to be there. I want to be that person. And I'm hooked up with another friend of mine who I think you know, Leah Jacobson.
Oh
And,
yeah. I mean, she is
yeah,
so well known, and she's all about safety. Yeah.
yes. She did my training in safety. So
Yeah.
I've with her, and we're going to start doing a course on training MLM representatives on
Right. I
safe
saw that.
use. Yes. So that is my question. How can you people out there as an aromatherapist uh, use essential oils from an MLM company and do it properly? And I'm saying you can, and I'm here to help.
So my question is now, then you would use basically doTERRA oils to educate your customers and sell them as well, or would you use the oils to not even the oils, but just the safety information to inform people who are using doTERRA or Young Living?
I
Is it
am
more on an educational basis, or are you trying to sell the oils or use them in your products?
okay. I don't use them in my products because I have a contract with another supplier that I get very, very excellent prices, and you've seen them in your app. But
Yeah, and that is actually what Jackie just mentioned as well. I can just show that comment quickly. Jackie says there isn't much markup on MLM. either or anyway, and that is the question. How would you, so if there's another aromatherapist right now who wants to use MLM companies to make money, what would you say?
You would have to go in there and sell the oils, and because for doTERRA, and I think it's for Young Living, we as oil sellers reps, we call wellness advocates, we get 25%. So automatically there's 25%. And I'm not knocking down any of it because I'm representing the company, but you got to realize all these trips they give away and all these cruises they give away. Who pays for that?
Well, that would be everybody who is in the downline.
doTERRA's not giving you a boat ride. The customers are. So there is. It's a wholesale from another company. I pay 50% of their prices, and their prices are about, I would say, 60% less than the MLM price. So as you see, I'm getting it, but I can't sell it because that's just the rules. I can't sell because I'm a wholesaler. I use it unless I had a brick and mortar store like you have. And we want a tour of our new place here pretty soon. And so we I don't use it in my products, but I do sell it so people can have a quality. I don't want them to go to, well, Walmart, which I don't think you have there. But
no, we don't have a Walmart. No, absolutely not. And there's just one comment. Sorry to just, this one is another one. I can't see the name right now because I think they're coming from a group, and then sometimes you cannot see their name. So it's a user. But they say, but how do you remain a NAHA member if you're using MLM companies? So I guess that one is a restriction with NAHA as well. I'm not actually sure about that, but whoever that wrote that one, I would love to hear more about it. Because I know that NAHA has the restrictions of not internal use, and they have a few other ones for sure in order to be a member.
They don't like you promoting MLM. AIA and NAHA do the same thing, but I'm not a member of any of them.
Okay.
I don't need to give people my money to, tell me what I can do and what I can't do.
Yeah.
I have a wife and the FDA, and they do that really well.
Okay, let's leave it at this. I'm just going to pull a few more questions up because that's just interesting. I used to be, somebody else says, I used to be a Young Living, again, Facebook user. Just put maybe your name behind it, then we can also see who you are and talk to you in person. And then Jackie is asking, are you signed up as a practitioner with them? Jackie, I assume with doTERRA you mean in this case, because I think, Dan, that's what you're signed up with, right?
It's called an advocate, wellness advocate. So that's everybody that signs up to sell their products gets that label, wellness advocate. So
okay.
Yes.
So, Jackie, is there a difference between a practitioner and a wellness advocate? Do you know more about that? Let's see what she says. Also, Nefra is saying, as a qualified and further studying aromatherapist in the UK, I wouldn't use the likes of doTERRA and Young Living on moral grounds because I don't like their advocation on unsafe practices. I hear that doTERRA oils are nice quality, but for those moral reasons, I wouldn't use them. So I think, Nefra, that is what Dan was talking about, that basically the safety information is lacking a lot in those MLM companies. And that's why we do have people out there already, including Leah Jacobson, giving classes to MLM advocates, actually, to teach them about safety. And but I would agree that the safety information around those companies are just really, really poor. That's what I saw. So here's my little story, actually, Dan. I did also start out with doTERRA 6-7 years ago, I think. And And as soon as I started my certification, I realized that there's much more different companies, many more different companies than doTERRA or Young Living. And once I got to Portugal, I also noticed that the prices here in Portugal are not sustainable. I had over 62 people signed up under me, but none of them were actually able to afford the oils. And so I had to come up with a completely new solution. And that was where I said, okay, I want people to be able to buy essential oils, use them safely, obviously, too. So I went to France and talked to Floriana and visited their distillery. And since then, I've been actually working with Floriana and selling their oils for a much lower price as well. So I think that is another point of view. It's depending where you live, really, as well. It's not that easy to sell these kind of oils where frankincense costs around 98 euros or dollars versus maybe, I'm not sure right now what Floriana, but I think it's 36 or 38. So it's literally almost a fourth or a third of it. So that was my reason why I actually moved away from MLM companies, and I was not good in selling. I couldn't go to my friends and families and so on. So that was my part.
I can't. Okay, I'm just not pushing. You want to buy it, you buy it. If you don't, hey, okay.
Yeah, exactly. And I got to the point, either you want it or you don't. But at one point, there was always just something. And in Europe, MLM companies are still seen as the pyramid scheme system. So they are very aware of that here, and they shut you down immediately as you start talking about it. But let's see a few more questions here. Oh, Minnie, that was you. Nice. Thank you very much. So Jackie said, I meant the other company. I know which one you're talking about. I think that is your keyboard again, Jackie, talking.
I think she asked, why couldn't I sell from the company that I use my oil from? And the problem is, I just don't have the facilities to stock $500 worth of oils. And if I don't sell it, then it goes bad. And so, I could. I mean, I can buy it at my wholesale price, but if you have to purchase at least, I think it's $200 to get the wholesaler bulk price and not have to pay shipping. Say I have to pay shipping with my wholesaler price. So if I just order $7,500 worth, shipping kills me.
Yeah, that is one advantage Seth and I were talking about a while ago too, is like once you have the stock and the stock goes bad, that is actually a negative on your balance sheet at the end of the year, and you have to count against it, and that makes it a little bit difficult. And I think that is maybe what Jackie meant exactly. So why wouldn't you use the other company? But I guess, what I'm seeing right now as well, which is maybe a plus point for MLM companies, is the shipping. So when I ship, it's all on me right now. The people come back to me, they request the money back, they do shipping, tracking, everything goes back. You can lose a lot of money through that. So that might be an advantage actually, because doTERRA ships directly, and you don't deal with shipping at all. So you've got a point there. I think what you just mentioned, you have to calculate a lot in. So another Facebook user in this case, I'm in Canada. Do you have to be a member of an association to keep your certification?
Not in the US.
No, not at all. That is just NAHA and AIA. I think that's what you're talking about. And I think in Canada, there's actually another association like NAHA and AIA. And no, that is voluntary that you actually go to these and be part of them. Nefra, so I understand that, and that's great, but it's a company thing, and I couldn't support that. Yes, Nefra, we were mentioning, I think that was your comment before, with the moral side of everything. So yeah, totally see. So, and that's something else we wanted to come in here. It's not a fighting discussion. It's just a true open point of everybody can do what they can do, and it's really good to hear all these different opinions. So have them come in, no problem at all. We are not taking anything hard. So another person was saying in one of the comments, Conrad actually said, I don't like MLM business model, but the truth is some of their products are good quality. For example, the best lavender essential oil I've ever had is from one of those two most popular essential oil MLM companies. So
Yes.
I hear that, the quality, I don't know Young Living at all, but the quality of doTERRA, many people rave about. So I know there were a few lawsuits with Young Living, but I'm not sure if it's the same with doTERRA at this point.
doTERRA hasn't been what Young Living's gone through. And doTERRA doesn't tell people that we grow all of our plants to make all of our oils ourselves. Nah, that's not true.
You go in there with a very open mind, I think, Dan.
You got to do some research. You got to understand what's going on. And I don't go with all their business models, except, hey, I like to make money. So
Yeah, and that is a really good point. And especially during these times, we do need to be aware how we can make money. And I think, yes, as Nefra said, sometimes it comes down to a moral point of view where you say, no, I'm not going to step onto that boat no matter what it will cost me. Or even if you feel comfortable doing something like MLM companies. I know that some people are amazing at it. I'm not. Some people are just, they fly up the ladder like no one else, but you have to have the right attitude, I think, to do that as well.
yeah,
So,
I lost about $500 in an MLM company before because it was just, I couldn't sell.
yeah.
I'm not pushing. I just,
No, you're not. I know that. You have a big heart, Dan. I know that. Courtney said, I said no out to one of our polls because I buy mine mostly from Liberty Natural Products for most of my materials. Their physical location is around the corner from my house. I use this company also. I guess there's something missing, but I think she was saying it, so it just makes sense for her to do it this way because she has, I don't even know Liberty Natural Products. Do you?
I'm not familiar with that one.
Oh, yeah, I have to check them out. Someone else said, at the school where I was educated, I'm able to get my essential oils and a business discount. Yes, and I think quite a few schools actually do this. I know that Aromahead has aromatics, for example, and you get from your first shipment somehow 10 or 20% off. I'm not sure. I did my certification a long time ago. Now I don't remember, but that's true. Yeah. Some help local population grow locally everywhere where such plants grows, Natalie says. So I think that comes down to fair trade and helping out the people who actually do the entire, what is it called? Healing Hands Foundation or so. I don't know. doTERRA has some kind of foundation which helps the locals to survive and help them to grow the plants and help for schools and when disasters happen and so on. So I know, I'm not sure what it was called, but Healing Hands Foundation or something like this. So they're involved there. And then Minnie says, I went to American College of Healthcare Sciences. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so I think, I mean, do you have questions maybe for people, what you would like to see if they can chime in a little bit more as long as we have them online here?
Well, it's just, I'm here just to saying, I know that the business way that they run their business may not be the best. And, but I'm saying, can't you sell this product to your customer and give them the training that they need to use it properly? I buy all my oils since somebody's already mentioned various companies. I buy my oils for my products from plant therapy. I have for years and years and years. and I get the wholesaler discount. And that's because I buy so many oils. And I could probably turn my camera over here and show a wall full of oils, but they're only for me.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You use them
uh,
in your products, right?
yeah. So for my personal products that I make for my father's natural remedies, it's from the plant therapy.
Yeah.
When I sell to my customers, if they want an oil, I sell them via the doTERRA
Mm-hmm.
uh, because I just can't sell it here because I can't stock it. Uh, if I get 4 or 5 bottles of oil, I'll probably start using them.
So do you have certain oils, and that's just a question, which you sell the most, and those oils you can actually get from your suppliers, let's say your wholesale suppliers? Are there certain oils which come up over and over again? And somebody else had a really good comment earlier that there are so many different oils, for example, of bergamot. I'm not sure who it was, and sorry about that, but bergamot has so many different oils, so you can choose mostly. She's using a company. Oh, I think that was the one where it was cut off. They have over 250 oils available, and they have so many different bergamots or lavenders and so on. And obviously, with an MLM company, you mostly get just one, maybe two, if you have a chance. But that was another reason why people wouldn't use MLM necessarily, because they would like to choose a different bergamot or a different lavender. Sorry, shouldn't happen. Yeah, but that would be my question. Do you sell certain oils a lot, which you could offer from your shelf in the bag?
Well, I haven't really recently sold a lot of oils. I mean, right now, everything seems to be, people just don't have the money. Everybody's out of work over here.
Yeah.
But it's mostly stuff like lavender, sweet orange, lemon, uh, frankincense if they can afford it. Um, and if I could stock, I think it's about $250. Then I get free shipping. Uh, then it would be worth my while into doing that.
Yeah, your
And
markup might be even better in that case too, for your customers.
yeah,
I'm not sure, but it might be the case. We have a few more comments here. Nefra says, so am I right? I think that Dan wants to provide safety training to MLM reps. I think this is a great and definitely needed. What would it be done on an official basis?
yes, yes, and yes, yes, and all that. Um, with me pairing with Leah Jacobson in using Essential Oil Safety uh, organization that she runs, you would get a certificate. I mean, there's certificates, and $1 will get you a cup of coffee down at McDonald's. But it if you she does provide training. As I say, I have a certificate in expert oil blending. I have a certificate in uh, safety expert, and that all came through the Leah's organization. And she's starting up a school just for MLM, and you would be taught the certification route. She doesn't say you will be a certified aromatherapist, but she is a CCA, so she knows her stuff. And you would be trained with the same training as a certified aromatherapist. So yes, it would be official, and it will be on her website. She's probably within the next few weeks, we hope, going to be launching that school. So, but that's what I'm doing. I'm wanting people to safety. I don't care if you buy from me or if you buy from XYZ. I don't care as long as it's done safely and as long as the oil is safe. There's a lot of oil out there that's not what
Yes.
it's supposed to
Yes.
be.
That is a
And,
whole other topic. That is so true. There are lots and lots of wow. I've seen quite a bit too. No company is perfect for sure. Safety is essential, and we can educate people. Exactly, Natalie. I think so too. Jackie, are you allowed to sell them in singles on your website with plant therapy, or is that against the rules of their wholesale account?
I haven't checked that out. I don't think I can sell. I know I can't sell it on any of the big companies like eBay or Etsy or
Yeah,
anything.
no, that's a
Private
no-no.
website like mine is. Um, I can't undersell their price. In other
No.
words, if they sell it for $10, I can't sell it for $9.50.
Yeah,
Uh,
they have their suggested retail price, and
yeah,
that's what they want to keep normally. Yeah, maybe that's something to check out actually. Um, Minnie is saying, is the best testimony for your clients to say this is what I use. But if you're using different brand personally, how do you give them the testimony?
how do I give them the testimony that it's good? Is that what she's
Yeah,
saying?
that is the question. I think if you're using, for example, one for your products and then the other ones you sell, I think she wants to know, and Minnie, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she wants to know is like what if you use one product in your
Oh,
products
yeah.
and the other one you sell.
Yes. And you know as well as I do, how many producers of essential oil are there in the world? The products that got the label of plant therapy may be the same as the products that's got doTERRA or have got, whoever, Eden's Garden or whatever it is. There
Yeah.
are not that many producers of essential oils. So it's
Yeah,
kind of
I
like,
actually had that talk to a distiller when I visited the London Natural Food Fair, and they also had essential oils there from Australia, and the Manuka oil
mhm,
from Australia. And he said, yeah, we just signed a really, really big contract. And I'm like, oh, was it with an MLM company? And he said, yeah, yeah. And I said, can I guess? And he said, yeah, sure, you can guess, and it was doTERRA in this case. And I
mhm,
said, well, but you're selling to others as well. And he said, yeah, of course, they have to keep their business going. So yes, from first hand, that is exactly what I heard. They're selling to their small companies, but they're also selling to the big. And at the end, what the
yes,
company does with their oil, if they dilute it.
that's exactly. I have to trust the company. And YL, I won't call it, but YL, I don't fully trust. doTERRA, I do trust. Plant therapy, I trust 110%. So, but what they do with the oils after they get them, that's just, kind of the difference.
Yeah, I wish sometimes I want to be a mouse running around and seeing all of that. So we've got a few more comments. Do you still have a few moments to read through a few more comments?
Sure, I'm not going
All right.
anywhere except for a nap.
So Natalie says also there are side products such as shampoo, skincare, and supplements. That's what they do have with doTERRA. They do have all of these other products as well. And to be honest, I've got these, I think, bone nutrition pills, they are called or so. And my mom swears by them, actually. So I'm also not saying doTERRA is bad at all or anything. There are some really amazing products they have. And these bones, she has arthritis, and the bone nutrition products, for example, she says she really gets relief from them. So, whatever, at the end, I always say whatever works, as long as it makes people feel less pain or makes them feel happier or whatever, you got to take what it takes and not necessarily the pills, if you can, of course, use the natural stuff.
Yes, yeah.
A certificate of completion is a good term.
Yeah, hold
That
on, let
is,
me turn around here. Uh, I'll be right back.
yeah, you'll be right back. Jackie, you got Dan out of the share now. um, there he is.
Okay, yeah. Like essential oil safety advocate. Of course, my camera. I can't figure these things out.
Oh
But that's
yeah,
about it.
you can.
And
Yeah,
it-
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's
it's
more
a
Bermuda, isn't it? I can see the little owl.
yeah. So, oh yeah, that's
No, the owl
an
actually
eagle.
on the certificate. There's a little owl on there, and I think that's what Lynn always has.
Oh yeah, yeah, UES basics. Yeah, but yeah, that's what you get. You get a certificate of completion, and for that, well, those are our schools. There's the expert blending, and you get a certificate for everything that you do
Yeah.
from Leah. And so she treats you professionally.
Yeah.
So
Well, she is all about professionalism and safety and everything else.
yes,
Let's see, Nefra, it would be so good to have somewhere to refer people to when we see them promoting unsafe practices. I think Nefra, actually, to be honest, I don't think you see necessarily the people, but there are a few organizations now who point out, well, they point more out the adverse reactions, and there are a few groups out there who are just set up, or websites actually who set up to go after everything, mostly coming unfortunately from the MLM companies, the reactions and safety information, or not safety information, help me Dan, the wrong use of the oils,
yeah,
basically. So
yeah.
there are some companies pointing that out already. And then, yeah, you're right. There's no refer people to when we see them promoting unsafe practices.
Well, actually, again, Leah's website, her group pages. All you have to do is point it out to them. She will actually very politely show you research material on how. She won't refute that person, but she will show you how to do it. So if you want to contact me later on here on Facebook, please do so, and I can refer you over to her websites or
Yeah,
her Facebook pages, and we can work all that out. She will train you in how to actually tell people, no, you're wrong, and here's the scientific proof that that is wrong. So,
yeah. Yeah, and I know that Lab Aroma, for example, in their system, and I also think Dropsmith, they have over 700 scientific studies where essential oils work, and we are still down to just a few oils, really, where we have really good scientific studies, and everything else, it's pretty much
there
blown
is
up.
there is a thing out. Let's see, what is it called? Blend Precisely, I think it's what it's called, and they will give you the safety information on there.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
that's a
While you're blending, thank you for
yeah. Hey,
putting that in there.
you can
While
send
you're
me a check
blending.
later for that.
Yeah, that is it's a really nice feature, because I was always blending, and then I just had these books, and then I wanted to exchange oils, and so right now when you do your blend, you can immediately see what's going on. So Blend Precisely
Absolutely,
is just
it has done
amazing.
my business fantastically. I have to tell you that. So
Thank you. um, blendprecisely.io. I have
yes,
told I've told people I'm getting certified to make sure my clients use oils correctly.
yes,
Yeah.
Nathalie. I know Nathalie.
Jenny.
So
Yeah. As an aromatherapist, we know the info about suppliers being the same, but the consumers don't. The MLM people are usually only going to follow their own people. Yeah, it's really hard to shake them up in any way. They do
that's it.
that.
I'm a shaker. I'm going in there and I'm trying to say, hey,
You are. You
be
are.
careful, do it the right way.
I like that, Dan, because it's really important that people get up and speak up about, anything. We cannot, especially in this world right now where we're in, we cannot just sit silently at home. We will never do a business. We have to go out and talk. We
Yes,
have to.
yes. And so,
Okay, so Minnie says, that is exactly why I no longer deal with MLM. I can't get my report at any time from the Oh, okay. In regards of the GCMS reports and
oh
everything
yeah,
else, I think Young Living is still not doing that. Maybe they are right now. I actually went to Young Living at one point and was asking about frankincense, if I could get the GCMS report for frankincense. And they said it's proprietary information. I mean, come on, it's not a blend. There's no, that can't be. That was their answer. Not cool.
Yeah, I don't know whether doTERRA actually has GCMS or not.
They do. They actually do now because they have a
Yeah.
website for them. They introduced that, I think, 4 years ago. I'm completely assured they are unalterated. Somebody said. I think they're probably talking about doTERRA oils. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think they adulterate theirs.
I don't think either, actually, for them. But what do I know? Jackie, laughing out loud. That was the comment, I think, with the keyboard. You can write to the company and tell them. Oh, that's what Natalie says. So you could write then, I guess, that is about the unsafe use of the oils. Natalie is saying that you could write directly to the company, point that person out and say, you know what, I've seen that with a screenshot maybe or whatnot else, and send it over to the company. Leah, hello, she's here as well. That's why we need people to train the consultants. Yes,
Hey,
doing it.
I don't know
Leah.
who that is. That somebody snuck in here using her name. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't believe Leah would be right now watching.
No, she doesn't have anything to do with safety. My
Well,
safety guru.
there she is again. People want to talk bad about MLM reps, but they need training more than anyone.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And then Natalie says, "Go, Dan. I'm with you." There you go.
Well, see, what you can do is these people that say the wrong things, they're MLM. It's not because they want to hurt people. It's just because they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know anything. They read the script, and you can't just read the script. You've got to know what you're doing. I would hate to have a doctor go in there and do brain surgery. In my case, it would be microsurgery. But go in there and do brain surgery, and he says, "Oh, wait a minute, I got to enter this into Google and see exactly how I do this." Well,
Yeah.
that's what the MLM's doing. Oh, let me see what the book says. You got to study. Of course, I have a doctorate in theology, so I mean, study to show thyself approved, and it goes with essential oils too.
Well,
You got to study to show that you are approved.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I can,
true.
I can end my little talk right now by saying you've got to get people to trust you first. I don't care what you're selling. You can sell garbage.
The like and trust factor is big no matter what you sell. People need to like you, they need to trust you, and they need to follow you. Leah says they did their peppermint. So I think, Leah, you mean that they actually alterated their peppermint essential oil.
They did. That was a few years ago. Yeah.
I didn't know. Okay. Jackie says, so Dan, are you going to sign people up for doTERRA and then offer the classes from Leah?
Yeah. Leah doesn't know it yet. Yeah, that's what I mean. I am going to sign people up, and I don't care if they sell, if they go in as reps and stuff. Hey, the less people that sell it, the more sales I make. So it just gives them a 25% discount. That's what I say. Hey, it's like going into a grocery store and they say, if you sign up from our little rewards card and you pay $20, we'll give you 25% discount for the next year. I say, yeah, sign me up, because I'm going to take a 25% discount anywhere I can.
We're for coupons, aren't we? Oh, here we go. Okay, thank you, Leah. doTERRA says has ethyl vanillin in vanillin. I love that word for Germans. I mean, come on, Leah. Ethyl vanillin in their peppermint when we did third-party testing a few years ago. Oh, that's... Yeah. I was wondering about that actually, because the peppermint, way back then when I started with doTERRA, actually, the peppermint did have this slight candy cane-like smell, and I was always wondering, it smells a tiny bit like vanilla actually in it. So, I mean, that would definitely confirm that. Thank you, Leah. Leah says, ha, ha, ha. Sorry, I forgot. Leah, I agree with you and Dan, Natalie says. So, yeah. So you know what? These are all the comments I have. right now, and there were quite a few. Thank you everyone for chiming in. That was quite a lively. Dan, I'm gonna get you back on the show. That's a lively talk here.
Yeah, I'm lively. At
Yeah.
74 years old almost, I'm lively.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's at least good to talk about everything openly. And wait, no, something was not coming in. We are unable to compete with doTERRA in the country of production. That's interesting. So explain maybe a little bit more. I would just guess that right now that wherever they do the production, you could not sell doTERRA prices, which might be similar to what we have here in Portugal. And to be honest, I would always, I mean, there's, for example, Naturalness distillery here in Portugal, essential oil distillery. They sit in the middle of Portugal and they have the most amazing oils, of course, harvested here in Portugal, wild crafted. Cistus, the rock rose, amazing, and they have some hydrosols. I've never smelled and used such powerful oils like the Naturalness distillery, and they actually ship worldwide. So I really can only Mariu is just so beautiful and sweet as well. There are some oils where the locals could not actually afford doTERRA oils or any of the oils, and so that was my experience here in Portugal. This is why we need people like Leah to keep them on the right path. That's what Natalie says. And Natalie also says, I want to go to Portugal. You know that one of my dreams was to, at one point, get aromatherapists from around the world to come to Portugal and actually visit the distilleries here in Portugal, because I think that is just something so beautiful and unusual. To visit the country and also have someone who lives there and knows both worlds. I lived in California for 17 years to show you around here. That was one of my dreams. Maybe it's going to come true, but with all the COVID, who knows? The prices are lower than what is cost to produce. Yes, we could see the end of our industry. Yeah, so I think there's a lot to consider, and I think there's always the survival thing. You know, we all need to make money, but then there's also the consciousness and the moral and everything else playing a big, big role. So,
yes, I know. It's a difficult situation, and I'm talking about general public and not everybody. See, so that's what we threw it out there for. We just break out there like bread on water, and wherever it goes.
yeah, and I think when it comes down to everything, we did aromatherapy. We studied essential oils for a reason, and at the end, what we need to do is carry the business forward, so we don't. You know, and there are times I think where we have to maybe look sometimes the other way as well in order to survive and make money. So I think nobody should feel bad using either one or this, especially when it calls. The times are here when it calls maybe for some creativity or something else. So I think it's really important to invite and embrace everything. And we always, I mean, the business is always changing and growing, no matter what you do. Today you might be selling this, and then in a year from now your business looks completely different. So I think we just have to keep on going and plugging away and putting everybody we know, at least the aromatherapist, into one basket so we can support each other. That is my goal, at least.
Yes. That's the reason I like your group.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so we will see. There are more comments coming in, but I think we can all see them later on in the chats anyway. Nefra is saying one more time, I love Portugal. I'd come over like a shot once COVID is over, obviously. Well, Nefra, let's do it then. We should definitely get on this planning trip. And Valeria said, oh, hello, Valeria. Wow. For me, essential oils are truly gifts from nature, and I can't live a day without them.
That's true.
And they are. Well, thank you so much, Dan. We are almost up to an hour now. That's a very long one. I hope I didn't steal too much time from you and your wife and everything else. I know you have always a lot to do at home.
Yeah, I've got some things to do this afternoon, but hey, I've been really enjoying this talking to everybody across this nation, across the world, basically.
Isn't it? It is. It's a global conversation here right now from the
Yeah.
UK, from Canada. We often have people from Australia and from the United States, obviously. It's really lovely. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And Dan, one more time, your email address and your website is myfathersnaturalremedies.net.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody wants to check out Dan's website, you can do that. If anybody
Come
wants
join my group, and I'll talk with you about your training if you come join my group.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you very much. And then enjoy your afternoon. I will now enjoy my Friday evening.
Okay, have fun.
You too. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.